Oh, I'm just seeing there's some updates here. Very good. Come on in. Hello, hello. I was just on a Facebook Live. I do a weekly guidance, which is a general card reading every Monday on my Facebook page. I post the replay on YouTube. And so if that's something that interests you, head over to my Facebook, Angela McClellan, or my YouTube, and you can watch the replay there. There has also been there's also been a few accounts going around today scamming people. Guys, we got to be smart about this, all right? TikTok in of itself is known for this. I think that we need to be mindful of who we follow and what we're doing with our money. So let's be very mindful. I am not the type of service provider that will inbox you and say, hey, give me $20, I'll tell you some more stuff. That is not how it works for me. Okay. I only book private sessions through my website on the 1st of every month. I have enough clientele that I don't need to be coming to your inbox begging for $20. So let's be mindful about that. I'm sure they have found this account because of the previous one of my recent videos. I did a let's ask a yes or no question. And so I'm wondering if that, I didn't have time today to go and be like, what's happening and where are they going with this? But they may be going into those who received an answer and inboxing them. So that is not me. I would never do that. I am still going through those one questions. They came in very quickly. And I even said, hey, Dan. They even said, like, I might regret this. But I'm going to leave it up. And I think I'm just going to be able to, anytime I have some time to hop on and do the replies, I will do that. So as of now, I am leaving the video up. If you're waiting on a reply, I am still working through them. I'm still going to be working through them in a reasonable speed. Reasonable expectations of someone who has a full clientele plus a minimum of 3. All right. Yay. Awesome. And so working, if you're new to me here, I'm also new to doing Facebook Lives, trying to find my way here over in the world of TikTok. But I am going to start regularly coming on at 7 p.m. Atlantic daytime. Halifax, if you need to Google like what time is it in Halifax, Nova Scotia, that will work on Mondays. So I do my live weekly guidance on Facebook, and then I'll come over here on TikTok and we can do some messages. All right. I hope everybody's having a lovely week. I am going to start out with a general. So we're going to do a general card just to see what Spirit wants to say as everybody's finding us. I was able to, hey Melissa, I was able to do a little heads up reminder. Hopefully I'll be able to do that every Monday to remind you that I am going to be here on Monday evenings. Yeah, there is a lot of reassurance. There is a lot, I'm trying not to yell, which is why I have the mic closed. There's a lot of reassurance that things are moving forward. Okay, everybody is still in this stagnant energy, even though everywhere we look, we're seeing signs and symbols that things are getting better, more opportunities are coming in. This is validating that that is true, but we need to have patience. We're still in a bit of a stationary time. In preparations, there's things that we need to learn in current time to prepare us and to build that foundation to receive what we're about to receive, okay? And so the Star card says, have faith that the future's bright dreams come true, positive changes that bring end to challenging times. the light at the end of the tunnel. That is indeed where we're going and what is coming in. It is very important for you to have that patience. We're still in the awakening. This is all about the pause. Now, the pause is part of the path, right? Pause allows us time to reflect. It allows us time to catch our breath. It allows us time to line up with divine timing. It allows us to line up with the divine timing of others. The pause is part of the path. Us as humans only want what we only feel like action is part of the path. Receiving is part of the path. The pause is just as, if not more important, right? And so we do not want to rush through this season, and I think that's so important. Okay. All right. So I do have this male. I don't know if he's going to step forward for me. Let's see where we're going. Does Jax or Jackson make sense for anybody? Where does the Jack or Jackson come in? So I'm just starting. We opened up. We pulled a card for the collective. And I can feel this male. And I'm like, are you stepping in? Are we coming forth? Or am I going to continue on? Maybe we're going to, I'm leave this Jackson or Jax. Jackson or Jax, I'm going to leave on my paper here. If you have a question, write your first name and let me know your question while we wait for everybody to come in. And if Spirit's going to interrupt, then we can let our loved ones interrupt. Put this on here. So Kyle's question is, am I going to be okay? The answer is yes. It is more complicated than that. How do you connect to the uniform, Kyle? There seems to be an ending of a relationship or of a significant wrapping up coming in for you as well, Kyle. Okay? There's very much this reassurance around this, reassuring that you are making it through this. I don't know if you're going through a significant ending, going through a significant loss, or we know that we're about to embark on that, because it does have the release card, which means that we release people, places, and things that no longer serve us. Okay? This can be people, this can be relationships, this could be work, this can be environments, this can be mindsets, this can be vices, etc. Okay, so there does need to be a shift or a release coming in. Kyle, are you still with me? Please let me know in the comments. I'm making big life changes in my living. Okay, this is where this change is coming in. Okay, they're bringing through stability around this. They are showing that this situation is safe, that this is well intended. So even though we have the worries, there's worries around this, right? And it's very much, this is why I keep going into the heart chakra. There's very much this, like, a lot riding on this, that this would validate that you are making the right choices with the endings that are coming in, okay? Kyle, how do you connect to a young soul, a young male on the other side? Did we lose a friend or a brother-like connection? Or someone that we felt passed before their time? How do you connect to the male that's passed? I also feel like when they snap their fingers, that's my sign and symbol for sudden or unexpected departure. Even if I was sick, I didn't expect to pass when I did. Okay? So how do you connect to the male that's passed, Kyle? Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the TikTok things. I am still learning. My dad randomly died when he was 55 and I couldn't save his life. This is where, okay, so where this is coming from, Kyle. Okay, your dad is so excited. Is there also drinking involved? Did your dad like to have the drink, or do you like to have the drink? He just gave me my sign and symbol for the drink. And or the other way that I would interpret that is there's a specific drink that we connect to dad. Okay? There is this feeling. Okay. He liked to drink, but put it down for me. Perfect. And so, okay, this is what we need to come. I'm just gonna hold the comments because it's starting to pick up. There's a few things that he needs to address, Kyle, so I really hope that you stay with me and that you receive them. You were never, he's like my sweet boy, you were never meant to save him, okay? We only die when it is our time to die. And I know that this is something that is so hard, and even when I first started doing this and Spirit was so direct, I'm like, I can't say that to someone, but it's true. How many times has somebody tried to commit suicide and didn't work, right? You only cross over when it's time for you to cross over. So there is the sense of your dad reassuring, like, this was always going to be a failed attempt because, like, success was never an option. He has then said this kind of uncertainty or this self-doubt or this, I hope I don't fail. I hope the shoe doesn't drop with the changes that you're making in your life now is because there seems to be a repeated belief of failure, right? If something works for a while and then no longer works, that's not failure, that's growth, right? And really needing you to understand that there is some of this limiting beliefs, there is some of this internal stuff that needs to shift. Do you also have the tattoo? Because he keeps wanting me to amend. He goes, we got to validate this, validating it with the tattoo. Okay, so and you look very much like dad. So when he shows me the reflection, you seeing dad in your reflection, that could be at home, that can be at a store, and we catch glimpses of dad within us. It is so important for you to know that his soul is with you in that exact moment. Okay? Head one, path I took. Now, how do you connect with the tattoo? He's validating knowing of your tattoo. Okay? And so this is his way of, when you see me in you, know that my soul is with you in that exact moment. Because he is around you way more than you are picking up on. And so there is a tendency of some of these narratives of he's not here, where is he must be disappointed, etc. He's always there. He makes me feel, he goes, listen, Angela, I have flaws, but family meant everything, right? Means everything. And so this is his way of wanting to validate. Do you have daughters or do you have children as well? Where does the girls come in for you, Kyle? I have 2 boys and a baby on the way. Perfect. This is his way. I don't know why he keeps having me focus on a granddaughter, whether this means this next baby's coming in or him validating, oh, you have a sister. That could be, well, because he keeps bringing me to young child though as well. So him knowing, one, bringing sister into your reading, but also knowing of your life, right? Very important for you to know that his soul knows of your life, knows of you as a father, okay? And he goes, and that is complicated. And so even though things may not be perfect all the time, he never holds judgment against you. He's not even letting me finish my sentence. How do you connect to, like, the muscle car, or like, are you a mechanic? Are we mechanically inclined? Do we like the cars? He showed, like, I don't know what this is called, but it is something that it's nice. I would think that it's an older style. There's something to do with the car that is significant as well, and wanting to, and I can see it in my head. I wish I knew the name. His way again as bringing through validations. There you go. He had a 69. That is exactly it. So his way of validating and I've recently talked about it, know that his soul was with you in that exact moment. This is his way of validating that he is with you. Oftentimes we have this belief that, of course, they're with us with the big stuff, the babies and the departures and the heartache. Of course our loved ones are with us, right? It's the mundane, everyday stuff. I was just having this random conversation, or I was just thinking of this memory, or I looked at a picture. It's them going, I'm here for that. You may not be feeling me in this exact moment, but I'm here for that. Okay? Is mom still living? So he does bring through a little bit of difficulty connecting with an adult female alive. So is there some strain within relationships at this time, or are we worried, concerned? She is, but I'm not sure where she is. There you go. So this is where he's addressing the complications, the strain. And so this is his way of knowing of your life, knowing of her choices, and supporting you in this. It's interesting, Kyle, because he keeps wrapping you in bubble wrap, which is my sign and symbol for protection. And he says protecting Kyle is like a full-time job. So I don't know if you like to drive fast, or you like to drive quads, or anything with an engine, or however, but he does make me feel like he keeps you with the bumper pads, and he keeps you in between the lines, and he keeps you where you need to be. And so know that he is such a protector for you in this life. He also just said, you never disappoint me. Okay? So never worry that you should have done more of whatever. No woulda, shoulda, couldas here in the physical form. But even as you're living your life, we are meant to make mistakes. We are meant to fumble. He loves and supports you through it all, in his way as well, of just wanting to make sure. There's also this feeling of, I didn't get to say, right? Not wanting you to have regrets or woulda, shoulda, couldas connected to communication. It's almost like there was this very chaotic time, maybe around the departure, and we were showing up, we were doing, right? Then in hindsight, if I would have known, I would have said. If I would have known, maybe I should have, right? I should have did this. He's like, your dad has no time for that. He is so set in his ways. Like, he is who he is. You know what I mean? Like, he is who he is. And so he was like, we're not doing that, Kyle. No more of doing that, Kyle. Right? And so just not wanting now, and this is something that Spirit has taught me. As soon as they cross over into spirit, even if they're unconscious before their bodies let them go, they have perks of spirit, which means they hear what we say in our head, they hear what we say out loud, and they feel the love in our hearts, whether we're in the room or not. It is literally impossible for us not to say what we wish we would have said. Okay? And it is really important. And he says, you know what, Kyle is a tough guy, but he's very sentimental. Right? And you do have your quiet moments together. And especially on the holidays, especially when we have those quiet, and you're so overwhelmed with the joy and love, and then Dad's missing this. I wish Dad was here for this. He is. There's no reason for you to take that joy from yourself, because your dad is experiencing it through you. Okay? And so in those moments, say, Dad, thanks for being here. Dad, I know how much you're loving this. Okay? And it's going to be, these little changes really help with our ability to feel them more frequently. When we have beliefs of, and we say things like, I never get dreams, or I don't get signs or symbols, or Dad's never with me, right? We're kind of, it's like we're keeping them at arm's length. If we are thinking of them, or we're feeling, or we're wishing that they were here, they are. So instead of keeping them at arm's length, let's say, thanks for being here, Dad. Okay? I don't know what that is. I don't know if somebody was doing like chewing tobacco or like spitting. That is not something that we do where I'm at. But using that as a validation, okay? In his way as well, of however we connect to that message, using it as a validation. I often say, you see my little scribble book? This is what I do for readings. I just scribble. The guy that raised my dad. There you go. Using it as a validation. You understood it and I didn't. And it's just Dad's way of telling me something that I do not know. Right? When we do anything that is repetitive, that we have done a million times, like scribbling, like showering, driving, tinkering, right? That is like a meditative practice. What that does is allows your brain to be busy enough, just enough so that your intuitive feed comes in. How do you connect to the big dog as well? Like a large dog. And so when our intuitive feed comes in, often our brains need to make sense of things, right? And so we go, oh, I'm remembering, or oh, right, I'm thinking of dad. What's actually happening in those moments is that you are connecting with your loved ones in that exact moment, okay? And so his way of wanting to validate that here I am, right? You're thinking of me driving to work or driving from A to B. I'm in the rig with you, right? And so it's very important. I always say, as someone who like observes the messages as they come through, there's always kind of like a theme or a way that spirit wants. Your dad is like, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. It's so important for you to know that he's there, that he's there, that he's there. Big blue tick, hound dog. And where I'm going, there's a big hound dog. Perfect. And so his way of validating, knowing of your life, bringing things through that you connect with, to let you know that you are loved and supported with these shifts and these changes. He makes me feel like this is nerve-wracking, but once you push through it and you're on the other side of it, you're going to be so happy that you did. Just honor yourself. I think sometimes everything can feel so intense within you, it can bubble up, right, and kind of overpour. And we may, instead of leaning into the discomfort, we may want to distract from the discomfort. And that looks like difference for everyone. Sometimes that means we're relying on our vices. Sometimes that means we're picking fights. Sometimes that means we are sabotaging. When the discomfort comes up, we want to go, okay, why am I feeling this? Where is this coming from, right? And lean into the discomfort, because there's some wisdom and some lessons here to learn as well for you, Kyle. But as a whole, you are on the right path, and dad really wants to validate that for you. So I'm going to leave that with you, and I wish you all the best. You're so welcome. Sammy says, is my husband with me? Sammy, is your husband sudden departure as well? Who did I just say I was thinking? This is why I write myself cheap notes. Sammy, 77. No, like not recent departure, sudden, as in we did not know he was about to depart. So when they snap their fingers, my sign and symbol for sudden, it means that it was sudden or unexpected. Didn't expect him to die when he did. I keep hearing impact or like a bang, and that's not usually something that I get. So I would contribute this to like a gunshot, to being hit with something, or like an impact. Sometimes that could be a brain aneurysm if I'm hearing it, or an aneurysm in the chest. I sometimes get this kind of like bang or explosion. But how would you understand this? And again, at this moment, I'm not 100% sure that I'm with you, Sammy. As this male was stepping forward, I read your comment. So I'm just getting more information to see. Fell in the tub with heart failure. Celeste. I'm just waiting for Sammy 77 to let me know if that makes sense. If I need to know if I'm with you or if I'm moving on. God, I'm warm. We just got going and I'm warm. Mel, I So I have, with missing people, that is an opportunity. He went, okay, so I'm not with you, Sammy. I am open for curiosity, for expansion, to see if I can find anything from missing person. But this is something that I do to like teach myself. I would not say that that is like a service I provide, but it is something that I am learning and expanding on. So you can inbox me about that. Okay, so Celeste, whose dad fell in the tub with heart failure. Celeste Barnaby. I feel like I'm with you because of this, the information that I'm getting, okay? But they brought him back and I had to make a choice with my sister, so I wonder if we made 100%. He says to me is that he wasn't back, right? And so his soul validating that being back was never an option, that you and your sister 100% have made the right decision, okay? Do you have the Christmas ornament or the Christmas ball? What is it here that we have in memory of dad? So he's using this as a validation, okay? He's also, milestone or birthday. I don't know if there's an anniversary or milestone or something of the calendar, but he uses that as a validation as well. Okay, so Christmas blanket, but he keeps putting me in the Christmas tree. And so if this is not something that we already have or have of his, this means something that's coming in and his way of validating being present with you in that exact moment. Okay? Celeste, how do you also connect to Alzheimer's or dementia? Calendar with his mom came out this week. Perfect. Validating that his soul is with you. Validating that he knows what's happening. Okay? I work with him. Perfect. I just said, can you give me another validation? Okay? And he showed me my sign and symbol. So his way of letting us know that he is okay. He also shows me the plant. So I don't know if this means that we have plants, if we have a green thumb, if we just planted something, if we're planning on planting something in memory of him, however you understand that. If we were just going through the garden center, however you understand that. This is his way of validating that he's there and that he's present. He also shows me that there's some frustration around you connecting with him, you feeling with him. Maybe we're not getting the dreams. Maybe other people are getting the dreams and I'm not, or however this comes in. He wants to validate he's there even if we're not feeling him. There's also a little bit of confrontation or a little bit of conflict around the time of his departure. So I don't know if this is within the family or this is continuing, but him using it as well as, I know what's going on. I am here. I am well. I'm not missing out on anything. And so it is really important, Celeste, for you to know that he's okay and that he's safe and that he's with you. Okay? He also says, he's kind of funny, right? Because he's showing me his body after his fall. And he's kind of like, he's like, who's that old man? Right? Like, it just was sad and it didn't look like dad and it wasn't. And that's his point, right? And he says, and it wasn't. Yes, there was, and thank you. Perfect. All just ways of dad being like, hey, I'm okay. I'm exactly as you know me to be. This is why I love when spirit comes through and showcases their personality, right? And also, it's very important that you understand how, even though he wouldn't have wanted to go, this is what he says, I wouldn't have wanted to go, that he takes peace in it being a quick departure. Of him not even understanding what's happening until he's safe on the other side is how he shows it. Okay? And there was a female and a male. The male feels fatherly. The female feels sisterly. So either a sister or an auntie or a grand auntie. The father figure could be a father, stepfather, grandfather, father-in-law, and uncle who played that role. But he's bringing through, showing me that there was two souls who met him on the other side. My auntie and his dad. Perfect. okay? Validating that that he is okay. That's one of the biggest fears that we're feeling, is like and I don't know who just had like the big shindig or had the big food, or sometimes when they show me a big like spread of food, it could have indicated that they would have had food restrictions here in the physical form, because then it's like, look at everything that I'm eating. If not, I would interpret that as there was just a gathering or a big spread. I was there, right? So those would be the two ways. Because I'm mainly clairvoyant, images mean multiple things to me. So that's why sometimes I have to articulate them in two ways. Sunday suppers every Sunday, perfect. Even though it's difficult to continue doing them, know that he is there with you. Know that whether we're doing them or we're just having ramen, his soul is with you. It's his way of wanting to validate and bring through these memories that are so important to both of you. Are you quitting your job, or are you changing your job? I did quit my job with the elders. Perfect. Dad's way of bringing through a validation, validating that I'm interpreting the messages correctly, but more importantly, that he is with you, that he knows of what's happening with your life. And I do see you going back. I do feel like things just got too much. It was too much. It was too triggering. You had to take time for you. And I do see when the time is right that you will be going back. And that will be a very positive for you, and it would be very healing. And it's so funny because your dad is so young at heart, right? And he shows me how you're going to see a lot of dad in your patients and those that we care for. But he was like, but I'm not that old. But there's going to be a lot of activity in that environment where you know dad's there. Someone may say something just like dad would. You may catch a glimpse of him moving through the halls. However you connect with that, know that this is his way of his soul being there and present with you. All right, Celeste? I'm going to leave you with that, and I'm so sorry for your loss, but know that you guys made the right decision. Okay, you made the right decision. Okay, hang on. You're so welcome. Guys, you got to give me your first names, because some of these usernames, let me tell you. I am too out of touch to be going there. The comment's gone. Who commented about giving the comfort meds? Vanessa. Okay. Is this your father? Who is this? The male for you? I have the male stepping forward. Dad. Perfect. What he goes, thank you. It's so interesting because he just showed me something that Spirit has never showed me, and it was like he fell out of relief to my feet, like, thank you. So you need to know that you truly and deeply made the right decision. Okay, it's his way, because he's a strong man and he's a proud man. Right? And so wanting to validate that, yes, you did indeed make the right decision in giving him the comfort meds. Now, he does show me, how do you understand, Vanessa, the double whammy? When they show me the time of his departure in a double whammy, that can mean I had like back-to-back losses, or I lost 2 people within 2 years, or I wasn't even moving through my healing seasons of somebody else, and boom, here we are with this. Or we got diagnosed and I didn't expect him to pass, and so the diagnosis was a whammy and the passing is a whammy. Like, how do you understand the double whammy? Thank you, guys. Thank you. He was diagnosed with multiple cancers. I inherited the same gene. Okay. And so that's a whole lot to process. And that's what he's wanting me to acknowledge, is the processing, is the healing. Okay. Are you very healthful? Do you make crazy drinks or smoothies, or do you juice? What's with the drinks? I do smoothies but like, I feel like, Vanessa, you are adventurous with your ingredients. And your dad would never. He goes, you should see the shit she drinks. His way of not only making light to show us that he is exactly as we know him to be, and that he is safe and okay on the other side. And he used to juice us as kids too. Perfect. But there's this feeling of like, you get really creative, right? Like, you get really, you think of combinations that maybe he wouldn't have, and his way of acknowledging that and being present with that. And so his way of wanting you to know that he knows of how you continue on traditions. And I'm sure that you think of him when you are blending up your smoothies, right? His soul being present with you and being a part of your life, which I think is so important. Okay. How do you connect to the complications within the relationship? I do. Perfect. And so has this been a falling out? Has there been a breakup or a divorce? Is there issues with the children's fathers? Where does the difficulties with the relationship, that's how he said it to me, difficulties with the relationship, come in for you? Kim, yes, you did. We had other siblings pop up. Okay. Know that, and it's interesting as well, Vanessa, because I feel like even though there's family members for you, I wouldn't quite say, and we didn't know him right until he passed away, I wouldn't say, well, maybe I would say, you may be kind of the black sheep of the family with the way that you operate in this life, or the way that you believe things, or the standards that you have, or the boundaries that you have. He's like giving you permission to do what you feel is best for you. If that is welcome them in, let them go, boundaries, communicate, not communicate, whatever that means to you. There's almost this, because of other people's, because I feel like there's other people's opinions coming at you. This is his way of validating that you get to do this the way that you feel is best. We don't do it out of guilt. We don't do it out of loyalty. We don't do it out of fear or like you say, like we feel I should, whatever, however you need to. And this is with the known families and the new families, right? There's very much this permission that he wants you to have to just live authentically. And I feel like you do that very well in certain aspects of your life. But maybe it's the mommy's guilt. Maybe it's the family. Maybe now that we're getting older, we're feeling like we should all stick together. There's almost this feeling of when it becomes a burden, do not put yourself through the ringer. It's okay for you to have the boundaries. It's okay for you to have that structure. And know that he supports you in that. Okay? Do you smoke the marijuana, or did he smoke the marijuana? How does that come in? Tell us. We're all friends here. He did in his youth. Because he's so sold and shut up. I feel like your dad has lived many lives in his life. Right? Like just, and then would just be like, okay, I'm done with that, and now like maybe I'm a reborn Christian. Like I feel like this man could have, if he hasn't, written an amazing book with the stuff that so he uses that as a validation, right? He was, I love it. And when we smell it, we think of Dad and we think of the stories, know that his soul is with you in that exact moment. He's very eclectic and how I would, which is awesome, and he's very good at communicating, which I appreciate. What I think that this could be challenging for you is you may not be getting any one sign enough from Dad, right? Because he's kind of throwing jello at the wall and seeing what sticks and like having a blast while he does it. Sometimes we need more consistency to build our confidence, okay? And so what I always recommend, and anybody can do this, is tell your loved one what it is that you want, okay? And so, Dad, only use the dimes, nobody else use the dimes, don't use anything else but the dimes, right? I wouldn't be surprised if your dad was here present, he probably would have an ADD diagnosis. Because I'm like, where are you going now? What are you saying now? And so wanting to validate that, okay? The other thing that he showed me very quickly is he did perfect. I don't know if this is like wind chimes or if the kids are like banging the pots and pans or what that kind of like metal on metal noise is, okay? His way of bringing through that metal on metal, like that's the noise that I'm hearing. So know that when you connect with that or we hear that, that's Dad. Dad also flickers and dims the lights. When the lights flicker and dim for no reason, know that that's Dad, okay? And then he makes me hear this beeping sound and I'm like, weird. And this is why I'm saying your dad is giving you everything and it may not, you may love that. And if you're picking up on that, that's awesome. But if we're missing it because we tend to want one thing more consistently, go, Dad, focus. Dad, focus. This is what I want. This is what I need. Don't give me anything else. I'm feeling a little bit doubtful that you're here and that you're okay. Please let me know. Okay? That's interesting. I usually don't. Do we do the henna or do we have a hand tattoo or is this something that we're thinking about? Very true to his form. I love it. And that's why I absolutely love when spirit comes through. Like I want them to show that they are exactly as we know them to be. I remember just starting, like I've been doing this for the last 10 years and I'm self-taught. And I remember being like, I've had a hand tattoo for him. There, shut up. That's the first time Spirit has ever gave me the hand tattoo. Know that he is very proud of himself, for one. But that he knows of the ways that we choose to honor him. Knows of the ways that we choose to keep him close. And again, like I was just finishing my thought of, I want them to show us exactly. I remember in the beginning being like, I don't want to come across like lacking sensitivity. I don't want people to think that I think this is a hoot and a half that your dad is dead. But it's them. They're giving me this upbeat energy. They're giving me the squirrely messages. They're giving me the good time, right? And what I have learned through the years is that is what transcends. The feeling, and this is for everybody who's tuning in. Whether we're doing a live video, whether you're in one of my group sessions or one of my in-person events, your own intuition, your own sensations, your own sensitivities are going to be going off. Your loved ones, even if the message isn't for you, they're going to be like, here's the butterflies, here's the zippy zoos, here's the goosebumps, listen, this is for you too, right? And so not only is your dad coming through jazzy and full of life as you knew him to be, you're also feeling him. He's not here with me. He's there with you. I go into spirit to communicate, right? And so this is his way of wanting you to feel him. So your sensations, the feelings that you've been having as the messages come through is Dad as well. So not only is he showing us his personality, bringing through healing messages to validate that he's okay, that he's with you, and of course that he loves you, but he says that you also are feeling him and him wanting me to explain that to you so that you know that that's him too. Is somebody named after him? How does the name come down? How does the name repeat? Like, I don't even care if we name the dog after him. Like, how does the name come in, or nickname? There aren't names, but some middle names with nephews. Perfect. His way of validating that I'm interpreting the messages correctly, but more importantly, that his soul is with you, knows of the ways that we carry him on. Okay? Do you pick blueberries? Did you just get some blueberries? How do you connect to the blueberries? I just got some. Perfect. Know that his soul was with you in that exact moment. I say that we often believe, and it's easy for us to trust when big things are happening, right? Like, big things are happening in our life, big milestones, achievements, departures, losses, struggles. It's the everyday stuff. It's the everyday stuff where we may wonder if they're there. Okay? And so I love that he brought up the blueberries. I love that he just is like, I'm here for this. I'm here for it all. Don't think for a second that I'm missing out. Okay? And it's interesting because it can be so frustrating, and it can be so, it can hurt even more, because he would have been the granddad that would be like rolling on the floor. Right? Like, just like, and so you're here being an amazing mom. Not just, I was just going to say mom. An amazing mom. Right? And we may see other people have hands-on dads or granddads, or we may feel like, where are they? Maybe we have the opposite, but if my dad was here, he wouldn't miss a thing. Right? He'd be getting down and dirty with them. And so this is his way of saying, I am. There's not a thing that I'm missing. Okay? And so wanting you to know how proud he is, not only of the lady that you have become, but of how you're choosing to raise your children, how you're choosing to share the love. And it makes me feel like you put a lot of intention in traditions, right? Making things traditional, doing the same thing, whether it's for a birthday or Christmas or whatever it is for you. But you know, by planting these seeds now, that it is going to be meaningful later, and he's very proud of you for that. He says, my daughter's an old soul. She always just knew things, you know. She always just knew things, you know. Very lovely. All right, Vanessa, I'm going to leave that with you, and I wish you all the best. So I will be able to post a replay of the live over on my YouTube. You can find me at Medium Angela McClellan. Maybe it's Angela McClellan Medium. One of those things, you'll find me. And again, guys, please be mindful. Please be mindful of scammers. There was about 3 different accounts that were created just today. I will never, ever, 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 ever message you offering a reading in exchange for a payment. There's only one way that you can book in with me, 1 day a month. All right? I will not be inboxing people here on TikTok. Okay? There is a video pinned where a couple of days ago we were doing a 1 question. If you have submitted a question on that video, a yes or no question, I'm still working through them. Okay? I was debating whether I should just like shut it down, but I'm like, no, it's something that when I have time, I will go through. I'll reply as much as I can to the 1 question. So if you want to, or if you're waiting, I'm still working on them. I'm still working my way through them. Okay. And again, please be mindful. There's a few people did send funds to these accounts today. We have to be mindful. I would love, these are one of the things as well that I hesitated, because TikTok is just, it's like the wild, wild west. I have been doing this for 10 years. I've been doing this on other social media platforms. There is definitely higher probability for like shit to go sideways here in the TikTok world, right? And so it was something that, will I want to kind of come into this? And I just really, like, I feel bad when people get scammed, right? Like, I understand that we are all just trying to do our best and we need guidance. And of course we need to know that our loved ones are with us, right? I would hate if somebody gets, so please just know that I will never, I'm either doing it for free or you're booking in through my website. There is nothing else that would happen here, okay? Thank you. May I ask, oh, hang on, where in Atlantic Canada you are? I'm Cape Breton. Looking for a look, I'm in Cape Breton, girl. I do come up to Halifax, maybe. I have been doing shows in Halifax twice a year. I'm due. I took it, my daughter had a lot of medical stuff going on the last 12 months. But I will be coming into later fall, into early 2026. I'll be going back. I usually go to Moncton. I go to Halifax. I've done Truro, Pictou. Perfect. Yeah, I've been to Truro twice, so you'll have to watch out. Haley says, will I get pregnant naturally? Yes. We do need a little time. There seems to be, I don't know if you get your cycle every month. I see challenges. I don't see blocks. And to me, it's more the sense of timeline. So we need to adjust our expectations so that we're not constantly feeling like we're failing. Okay. Yes, western part of Nova Scotia. Tell me where to go. This is what I say. I do have a submission form on my website where people can say, hey, you should come here. Yarmouth. I know. I do need to go down that way, Emily. We've talked about this. I am coming back to Fort Mac. My daughter's having a surgery in September, and that should be, this was like a 12-month, 3 surgeries in a 12-month span. This, in September, we should be wrapping up. We should be, actually, my brother is out there, and he does all my online ticket stuff. So we're thinking either November or January. It depends on how Becky gets along. So November or January. It was January, 2 years ago I've been out. Loved it. Can't wait to come back. Just had to do the parenting stuff. Had to prioritize my baby girl. But yes, I will be definitely coming back out to Fort Mac. Thank you so much, Amy. She's doing so good. Oh, I feel like we're over the worst of it. Like, I just can't wait. We're actually heading up to Halifax tomorrow for her doctor's appointments. That girl blows my mind. She's amazing. All right, guys. So I am going to wrap it up. Thank you so much. This is something that I'm going to start doing every Monday. So know that I'll be back 7-ish. If you follow me on Facebook, you know the ish is strong. 7-ish. I will be on Mondays. I will try to be able to put up a reminder for you. Again, do not send people money in the inboxes. That is not going to be me ever. Would love for you to share my page with your friends and your family. Working on expanding my reach, working on building a community over here in TikTok. So absolutely love any help that you can give me with sharing that I'm here. And again, I will be able to get this replay posted over on my YouTube. And if you don't follow me on Facebook I do daily cards during the weekdays and a weekly guidance video every Monday live. Replay goes on YouTube. And I will share as well, if I have any last minute cancellations, I usually throw it up on Facebook, right? And so any not regular offerings always goes on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, it's worth following me there as well. Look up Angela McClellan. You'll see my verified account. All right, have a lovely week, and I'll see you next Monday.